Right. I can't believe you convinced me to ride this old thing. Yeah.
It will be fun, I promise. Hold on tight now.
Have you ever wondered if love can truly begin again after heartbreak? Today's story will take you on an emotional journey of healing, courage, and the courage to embrace happiness. After a painful divorce, Dee thought his chance at love was gone until Huyen appeared, bringing warmth and hope back into his life. Together, they navigated the delicate steps of trust, honesty, and connection, culminating in Dee introducing Huyen to his family, officially beginning their new chapter. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to follow this heartfelt story of love rediscovered and hearts mended. After months of enduring the stormy waters of a marriage that had long lost its warmth, Dee finally emerged from the shadows of his past. The court papers, the endless arguments, and the silent dinners had all left their mark on him, carving into his heart a quiet sorrow that no one could easily see. For a time, he wandered through life as if on autopilot, going through the motions while his mind replayed the memories of what had once been. Yet, in the midst of that emptiness, there was a strange kind of clarity. He began to understand that endings, no matter how painful, are often preludes to beginnings. And then, as if life had been waiting patiently for the right moment, Huyen entered his world. From the first conversation, there was an ease between them that Dee had not felt for years. Her laughter, gentle yet sincere, seemed to wash away the residue of past disappointments. Her presence was a soft reminder that not all connections were fraught with complications or hidden motives. Some were simply meant to exist, quietly and beautifully. Dee found himself anticipating the smallest interactions with her. The way her eyes lit up when she talked about something she loved, the way she listened with genuine curiosity, the way her hand brushed against his in the most natural of gestures. Each moment felt like a gentle balm on a heart that had been long bruised. Each shared smile a tiny step toward healing. In Huyen, Dee discovered not only a companion, but a reflection of the life he had once hoped for. A life marked by warmth, understanding, and the simple joys that he had forgotten. It was in the quiet mornings over coffee, the long walks where words were sometimes unnecessary, and the comforting silences that spoke volumes that he realized how profoundly she had become a part of him. And in those realizations, a delicate hope began to grow, one that whispered that love could be rediscovered, that hearts could be mended, and that even after loss, one could find the courage to trust again. In the soft glow of Huyen's presence, Dee felt a tentative, thrilling certainty that perhaps, after all the endings and heartbreaks, he had finally found a love worth holding on to. As the days passed and their connection deepened, Dee felt an unfamiliar but undeniable sense of urgency in his heart. He had found something rare and precious in Huyen, and the thought of keeping it veiled from the world began to feel impossible. One evening, as the sky blushed with the soft hues of sunset, he took her hand gently, intertwining their fingers in a gesture that spoke louder than any words. His eyes searched hers, seeking not just affection, but a silent understanding. "Huyen," he began, his voice steady yet tinged with emotion. "There's something I've been meaning to do, something I've wanted to do for a long time." She tilted her head, curiosity sparkling in her gaze, encouraging him without a word. Dee took a deep breath, feeling the weight of both past regrets and future hopes pressing upon him. "I want to bring you home," he said finally, each syllable deliberate. "To my family, to my world. I don't want to hide what we have anymore. I want them to know that you are the person I care about, the person I want to walk through life with." There was a pause, a delicate silence that hung between them like fragile glass. Huyen's lips curved into a soft, reassuring smile, and in that simple gesture, Dee felt a warmth ripple through his chest, a mixture of relief, hope, and exhilaration. The thought of introducing Huyen to his family was more than a mere act of formality. It was a declaration, a symbolic step toward weaving their lives together in a way that was visible and undeniable. Dee pictured the moments that lay ahead, the first time Huyen would meet his parents, The cautious but curious glances exchanged across the dinner table, the tentative conversations that would slowly bloom into acceptance and familiarity. More than that, he imagined the feeling of standing beside her, hand in hand, as their bond was acknowledged openly, no longer hidden in whispered conversations or fleeting moments stolen from the world. In that imagined future, Day felt the pulse of a profound truth, that love, when it is real and fiercely protected, is never meant to remain in the shadows. Huyen squeezed his hand gently, her eyes reflecting a quiet certainty. In that moment, Day knew that she understood the depth of his intentions, the sincerity behind his words, and the courage it had taken to make this step. Together, they would face the unknown, the judgments, and the surprises of family life, but with hearts aligned and a trust forged through shared vulnerability. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in shades of gold and rose, Day felt a thrill unlike any he had known, a blend of anticipation, joy, and the comforting knowledge that for the first time in years, he was exactly where he was meant to be, with the person he was meant to be with. The day Day had been anticipating finally arrived. He felt a flutter of nervous excitement in his chest as he drove with Huyen by his side, the familiar roads seeming both ordinary and imbued with new significance. Today, he was not just returning home, he was bringing with him the person who had quietly, yet irrevocably transformed his life. Huyen's hand rested lightly in his, a steadying presence that mirrored his own mixture of apprehension and exhilaration. Neither spoke much, for words seemed unnecessary. Their shared glances, the gentle squeeze of a hand, and the warmth of each other's presence spoke volumes about the bond they had forged. As they approached Day's family home, memories of childhood laughter, family gatherings, and even quieter, more solitary moments filled his mind. The front door loomed ahead, a threshold between the familiar comfort of home and the vulnerability of introducing someone so dear into that sacred space. Day took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of his own heart synchronize with the rhythm of anticipation. Huyen, sensing his tension, offered a reassuring smile, her eyes reflecting the same mixture of hope and excitement that he felt. Together, they stepped across the threshold, and the familiar scent of home greeted them like a gentle embrace. Day's family looked up, expressions a mixture of curiosity and cautious warmth as they took in the woman standing beside him. Huyen's presence was calm, gracious, and disarmingly natural, her mannerisms carrying an effortless charm that quietly demanded respect. She greeted each family member with gentle politeness, her voice soft yet confident, her smile genuine. Slowly, the initial curiosity gave way to warmth, the tentative glances evolving into open smiles and nods of approval. Day felt a swelling of pride and relief. The woman he loved was not only meeting his family, but also making an impression that felt right, authentic, and lasting. As the evening unfolded, conversations flowed, laughter echoed, and Day stood beside Huyen, feeling an unfamiliar but exhilarating sense of completeness. For the first time in years, he could openly share his happiness without fear or hesitation, knowing that the people who mattered to him could witness the depth of his connection with Huyen. In that moment, every past heartbreak, every struggle, every lonely night seemed to dissolve, replaced by a luminous certainty. Love, when nurtured with patience and sincerity, could emerge victorious. Standing there, hand in hand with Huyen, Day realized that this was more than a simple introduction. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one defined by openness, courage, and a shared journey toward a future brimming with promise. And as laughter and warmth enveloped the room, Day felt a profound peace settle in his heart, knowing he had found, at last, a love that was enduring, beautiful, and wholly his.